everyone, nice to see you again. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to our Clues by Sam. If you're new here, we play Clues by Sam every day on the channel. And if you're new to the game, it is a daily puzzle where there are 20 people. Each of them is either a criminal or an innocent, and we gotta figure that out using the clues. They themselves give us the clues and they never lie. So the link is in the description if you want to play along with me. I will play and explain my logic as I go, so hopefully we can get a perfect solve and just clear out doubts out of our minds, okay? So we have an Android today. We are living in Blade Runner world. Let's start. With Olivia telling us that exactly one instant above Xavier's neighboring Nick. Olivia is an instant above Nick. Above Xavier, and she neighbors Nick. So that means that nobody else in neighbors Nick here in column C is an instant. We have two people right out of the bat. Tina now says that there are exactly two instants below Janet. Where's Janet? Okay. Janet has Olivia below her and Tina. So there's one more person there and there needs to be a second instant. So Xavier has to be an instant then. We don't need Tina's clue anymore. So we click on it and Xavier says that each column has at least 3 criminals. Okay, so column C needs a third criminal. There's one person left, Dana, so she needs to be the third and last criminal. Dana says that both criminals in row 1 are connected, and she is in row 1 and she's a criminal, so that means that anybody connected to her could be a criminal. It doesn't mean that they are, but that's the only people who could be criminals here. Betsy, since she's not connected to Dana, that means that she is an innocent. I guess we don't need Dana's clue anymore because we have tagged Celia and Eve. And Betsy says that no one in the corners has more than one innocent neighbor. Okay, so Zulu has an innocent neighbor and they are in the corners. So that means that Umar, who also neighbors them, isn't an innocent. And we gotta see what Vicky has as neighbors. So let's leave that there. Umar says that an odd number of instances in column A neighbor Nick. So Nick has 3 people neighboring him in column A, but the thing is, each column, according to Xavier, has to have at least 3 criminals, right? So we couldn't have all 3 people here who neighbor Nick be innocents because although those 3 would make an odd number, there wouldn't be enough people left in column A to make 3 criminals, right? So we need another odd number to neighbor Nick as innocents here in column A, and the other possibility is 1. So only one person here is an innocent. That means that the other 2 are criminals, and we still need a third criminal in column A. That can only be Vicky. So Vicky is a criminal, but we still don't know who is the innocent neighbor Nick in column A. Vicky says that exactly two of Fantine's 3 criminal neighbors also neighbor Janet. So Fantine has 3 criminal neighbors total, okay? 2 of those 3 neighbor Janet, and Fantine and Janet share 3 people as neighbors. So 2 of those 3 are gonna be criminals. One of them is gonna be innocent. Let's just suppose that this is the configuration. Fantine still needs a third criminal neighbor, and there's only one person left, Martin. So Martin has to be a criminal, but we still don't know who are the 2 criminals here neighboring Janet and Fantine. But we know that Fantine and Kita are now opposites, right? Because we know that there still needs to be one innocent neighboring Nick in column A, and it's not Martin. So now Martin says there's an odd number of criminals above Will. Where's Will? Okay. We just said that there's 2 criminals here neighboring Janet in column B, right? And 1 innocent. Those 2 criminals are above Will, but they are not an odd number. So Sue has to come into play here and be a criminal as well so that we can have an odd number. And we gotta remember that even though each column has at least 3 criminals, it having 3 criminals doesn't determine that all criminals in that column are done, because at least means it could have more than 3, right? So Martin's clue is not needed anymore. And Will is not an innocent because we don't know if there are only 3 or more than that. Sue says there is only one innocent in column B. Now we know. I spoke ahead of myself there. So we know that the single innocent in column B is neighboring Janet, and that makes Will a criminal. We don't need Sue's clue anymore. Will says that 3 people on the edges have an innocent directly to the left. We also know that Kita is an innocent, right? Because of Betsy. I'm sorry, I cut my thought there, but it just jumped into my mind. No one in the corner has more than one innocent neighbor. Okay, it doesn't mean that Kita is an innocent, because Betsy is not saying that people in the corner have at least one innocent neighbor. It just says that they couldn't have 2 or more. Will says that 3 people on the edges have an innocent directly to the left of them. So there's on the edges. I'm thinking about corners. But there's several edges and only 4 corners. So people on the edges who have anybody at all to their left. Certainly not anybody in column A, because people in column A have nobody to their lefts, okay? People in column D all have people to their lefts, and 2 of those already have an innocent to their lefts, Pip and Zulu, right? Who is also on the edge? Will, Xavi, Celia, and Dana. Who of them also have an innocent to their left? Celia, right? Celia is on the edge and she has an innocent to her left. So that means that Dana couldn't have an innocent to her left because we already have our 3 people who have innocents to their lefts. So Celia is a criminal because she couldn't be an innocent to the left of Dana. And that makes Eve, who was her opposite, an innocent. Now we don't need a Will's clue anymore, do we? There's nobody else at risk of having an innocent to their left. Eve says that there are more innocents in row 1 than row 5. There's 2 innocents in row 1, so that means that row 5 couldn't have 2. It has to have less than that, and it already does have 1. So that's the most it could have, which makes Zulu, who is also in row 5, a criminal. We don't need Eve's clue anymore. Zulu says there's only one innocent in between Ivan and Will. So there has to be one innocent here, right? We know that there's one innocent neighboring Janet. But Ivan is one of those people who could be an innocent, but the innocent has to be in between Ivan and Will, so it has to be Nick. That makes Ivan a criminal himself. We don't need Zulu's school anymore. We don't need Umar's school anymore. We need a 3rd person here to be a criminal in column D, at least. Ivan says that only one row has exactly 2 innocents, and that row is row 1. So we couldn't have row 3 be left with 2 innocents. It does already, it has Nick and Olivia, but there's one more person. That person, Pip, has to be the 3rd innocent here so that we don't end up with 2 rows that have 2 innocents. That makes sense? Pip now says there's an equal number of innocents in rows 2 and 5, and we know that row 5 has 1 innocent only, so row 2 is gonna have 1 innocent only, so Fantine and Kumar are opposites. And the thing is, remember I said that column D still needs 1 more criminal because each column has at least 3 criminals, and it's missing a 3rd, so Kumar has to be a criminal, which makes Fantine an innocent. Now I dream of electric criminals. So it is Blade Runner, one of my favorite movies. And now we know that Fantine is the innocent neighboring Nick in column A, so that makes Kita a criminal. And we are done the puzzle for today. So cool, I like it. Like the theme. And I enjoy playing the puzzle with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Things have been going better lately, so I'm gonna get back to working into our community, opening a Discord server for us and some improvements for the live streams. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Clues by Sam, and let's see how things go. I'm so English today. Very English. Bye bye.